Have you ever felt like your soul was running on empty? Like no matter how much you pray, meditate, or try to stay positive, something inside still feels broken? This is what we call spiritual collapse, a state where your inner strength weakens, your light dims, and your connection to peace fades away. But here's the good news. Collapse is not the end. In fact, it can be the beginning of your greatest transformation. Today we'll uncover 5 powerful steps that will protect your soul and keep your spirit unshakable. Recognizing the signs of spiritual collapse. Spiritual collapse rarely arrives like a sudden storm. It creeps in slowly, quietly, often unnoticed until it feels overwhelming. Before you can avoid it, you must first recognize it. Awareness is the first shield of protection. If you can identify the warning signs early, you can take steps to restore balance before the collapse takes root. So, what does spiritual collapse look like? It often begins with disconnection. You may notice that things that once gave you peace, prayer, meditation, reading, or spending time in nature, suddenly feel dull and meaningless. Your heart feels heavy, your mind restless, and even the smallest tasks feel exhausting. You are physically present, but spiritually absent. This is not laziness. It is your soul signaling that it needs attention. Another sign is emotional instability. Instead of feeling grounded, you feel easily irritated, overwhelmed, or drained by situations that normally wouldn't shake you. You may snap at loved ones, lose patience, or feel waves of sadness without understanding why. When the inner flame dims, emotions become harder to manage because the soul is no longer fueling the mind with peace. Lack of purpose is also a major warning sign. You might wake up in the morning and ask yourself, why am I even doing this? Life begins to feel like a routine without meaning. You may achieve goals, but they no longer bring fulfillment. This emptiness is a red flag. Your spirit is craving alignment with a higher purpose. Many also experience detachment from joy. Things that once excited you, meeting friends, creating, exploring, no longer spark energy. It feels like life has lost its colors, leaving only shades of gray. This numbness is not permanent, but it's a sign that your spiritual energy is dangerously low. And perhaps the most hidden sign of spiritual collapse is losing your inner connection. You may find yourself going through the motions of spiritual practice, reciting prayers, attending rituals, or meditating, but feeling nothing inside. It feels mechanical, like your heart is disconnected from your actions. This is often the soul's way of asking you to slow down, to stop performing and start reconnecting with authenticity. Recognizing these signs is not a reason to panic. It is a reason to wake up. Just as the body shows symptoms when it needs healing, the soul also shows signals when it needs renewal. Ignoring the signs only deepens the collapse, but facing them with honesty allows you to prevent it. Think of it like a check engine light in a car. When the light comes on, it doesn't mean the car is ruined. It means maintenance is needed. In the same way, signs of spiritual collapse are reminders to pause, reflect, and take care of your inner world. So the first step to avoiding spiritual collapse is simple but powerful. Become aware. Don't ignore the whispers of your soul. Listen to them. Recognize when your spirit is calling for rest, reflection, or renewal. The sooner you acknowledge the signs, the faster you can realign, rebuild, and protect your spiritual strength. Guarding your energy. One of the greatest reasons people fall into spiritual collapse is because they fail to guard their energy. Think of your energy as the fuel that keeps your soul alive and vibrant. When you protect it, you feel grounded, peaceful, and strong. But when you allow it to be drained by negativity, toxic habits, or endless obligations, your inner light begins to dim. Learning to guard your energy is not selfish, it's essential for spiritual survival. The truth is, we live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Family, work, social media, responsibilities, everyone and everything is pulling at us. And if you're not careful, you can give so much of yourself to others that you leave nothing for your own soul. This is how collapse begins. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Guarding your energy means making sure your cup is full before you pour into others. One way to do this is through boundaries. Many people struggle because they say yes to everything, even when their heart is crying for rest. Every yes you give when you mean no takes energy from your spirit. Guarding your energy means learning to say, "No, I can't take this on right now." It means protecting your peace, even if others don't always understand. A boundary is not a wall, it's a shield that allows you to give from a place of strength instead of exhaustion. Another way to guard your energy is by choosing your environment wisely. Energy is contagious. Spend too much time around people who complain, gossip, or constantly bring negativity, and you will feel drained. But spend time around people who uplift, inspire, and encourage you, and your soul will feel recharged. Just as you wouldn't eat spoiled food, don't consume toxic energy. Guard what you allow into your space, both physically and mentally. Guarding your energy also requires intentional self-care. And this goes beyond just physical care. Yes, eat well, rest, and move your body, but also nurture your soul. Take time for silence, for prayer, for reflection. Disconnect from the noise of the world and reconnect with your inner self. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is simply sit quietly, breathe deeply, and remember that you are alive. It also means being mindful of what you consume. Social media, news, and entertainment all carry energy. If you constantly feed your mind negativity, fear, and comparison, your spirit weakens. Instead, choose content that inspires, educates, and elevates you. What you feed your mind directly affects your soul. And remember, guarding your energy is not about avoiding responsibility or isolating yourself. It's about creating balance. When your spirit is strong, you can give, serve, and love from a place of abundance. But when your energy is drained, even small tasks feel impossible. So the second step to avoiding spiritual collapse is this. Guard your energy like it's your most precious treasure, because it is. Protect it with boundaries, nourish it with positivity, and recharge it with self-care. The stronger your energy, the stronger your spirit. And with a strong spirit, collapse cannot break you. Returning to the present moment. One of the most common causes of spiritual collapse is living everywhere except in the present moment. Our minds are like restless travelers, always running backward into the past or racing forward into the future. We replay old mistakes, regrets, and painful memories until they drain us. Or we constantly worry about tomorrow, about what might happen, about problems that don't even exist yet. This endless mental tug-of-war exhausts the soul. The truth is, peace is never found in the past or the future. It is only ever found in now. Returning to the present moment is not just a spiritual practice, it's a lifeline. When you anchor yourself in the here and now, you reconnect to the only space where life is real. The past is gone, the future is not here yet, but this breath, this second, this heartbeat, this is all you truly have. When you learn to live here, collapse loses its grip, because your mind no longer feeds on endless guilt or fear. Think of it this way. Imagine carrying two heavy bags, one filled with stones from the past, and the other filled with worries about the future. Is it any wonder you feel weighed down? The moment you put those bags down, by returning to the present, you feel lighter, freer, more alive. So how do you return to the present? One powerful tool is mindful breathing. Take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Notice how your chest rises and falls. In that moment, you are not in yesterday or tomorrow. You are here. Even one conscious breath can break the chain of mental noise and bring your spirit back to balance. Another tool is awareness of your senses. Look around and truly see the colors, shapes, and beauty in your environment. Listen closely to the sounds you usually ignore. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Taste your food slowly instead of rushing. These small acts of awareness root you in the present moment. Prayer and meditation also open the doorway to presence. When you pray with sincerity, you step out of distraction and into connection. When you meditate, you train your mind to observe thoughts without being pulled away by them. Both practices remind you that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. Living in the present doesn't mean you never plan for the future or reflect on the past. It means you don't get trapped in them. You take lessons from yesterday, you set intentions for tomorrow, but you live today fully. You respond to what is in front of you with clarity and peace, instead of being lost in what was or what if. So the third step to avoiding spiritual collapse is this: return to the present moment again and again. Every time your mind drifts, gently guide it back. Every time you feel overwhelmed, take a breath and anchor yourself here. The present is your safe place, your power, your sanctuary, and the more you live in it, the stronger your spirit becomes. Strengthening your inner roots. A tree with deep roots can survive storms, droughts, and even the harshest winds. No matter how strong the storm above, the roots below keep it standing tall. In the same way, your spirit needs strong inner roots to withstand life's trials. Without roots, even small challenges can shake you. But with strong roots, even the greatest storm cannot break you. Strengthening your spiritual foundation is the fourth step to avoiding collapse. Your roots are your daily spiritual practices, the habits, disciplines, and commitments that nourish your soul. Just as a tree cannot thrive without water and sunlight, your spirit cannot thrive without consistent nourishment. Unfortunately, many people only turn to prayer, meditation, or reflection when life is difficult. But imagine how much stronger you would be if those practices were part of your everyday life, not just your emergencies. Roots grow through consistency. One of the most powerful roots is gratitude. Taking a few minutes each day to reflect on your blessings shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude feeds the soul because it reminds you that no matter what is missing, so much is already here. A grateful heart is like fertile soil where peace and joy can grow. Another root is prayer or meditation. Whether you connect to God, the universe, or your higher self, regular prayer and silence strengthen your spiritual foundation. It's not about performing rituals mechanically, it's about connection. Prayer realigns your soul with divine guidance, while meditation clears your mind so you can hear your inner wisdom. Both bring you back to balance. Your roots also grow stronger when you practice reflection. Journaling your thoughts, writing down lessons from your day, or asking yourself meaningful questions keeps you connected to your journey. Reflection prevents you from living on autopilot and helps you see how far you've come. It turns experiences into wisdom. Another powerful root is service. When you help others, whether through kindness, generosity, or guidance, you nourish your own soul. Service reminds you that your life is not just about you. It connects you to humanity and fills your heart with purpose. Often serving others is what pulls people out of their darkest moments. Of course, discipline is the glue that holds it all together. Just like going to the gym strengthens the body, repeating spiritual practices strengthens the soul. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 50. What matters is that you show up every day. Over time, those small, consistent practices grow into unshakable roots. Remember, roots grow underground, unseen by the world. In the same way, your spiritual strength is built in private moments no one else sees. It's built in the early morning prayer, the quiet breath before bed, the act of forgiveness when no one is watching. These hidden practices prepare you for visible strength. So the fourth step to avoiding spiritual collapse is this: strengthen your inner roots through consistent spiritual practice. When your roots are deep in gratitude, prayer, reflection, and service, life may shake you, but it will never break you. Living with love and surrender. The final step to avoiding spiritual collapse is learning to live with love and surrender. If the first 4 steps are the roots, the presence, and the protection of your spirit, then love and surrender are the blossoms of your awakening. They are what keep your soul alive, radiant, and unshakable, no matter what life brings. Let's begin with love. Love is the highest vibration, the strongest shield, and the purest source of energy. It is not just about romance, it is the force that heals, forgives, and transforms. When your heart is filled with love, fear cannot dominate you. Anger loses its grip, bitterness dissolves, and despair turns into hope. Love uplifts both you and the people around you. Living with love means choosing compassion even when it's difficult. It means showing kindness to strangers, forgiving those who hurt you, and treating yourself with gentleness instead of harsh judgment. Love is not weakness, it is strength. It takes courage to love in a world filled with negativity, but this courage is exactly what prevents spiritual collapse. Because when you radiate love, your soul becomes a light that cannot be extinguished. Now let's talk about surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means letting go of the illusion of control. Many people collapse spiritually because they are carrying burdens too heavy for the soul, worries, plans, and expectations that they cling to tightly. They try to control everything and everyone, and when life doesn't go according to plan, they feel crushed. But awakening teaches us a deeper truth. You cannot control the storm, but you can surrender to the one who controls it. Surrender is trusting that life's challenges are not here to destroy you, but to shape you. It is saying, I may not understand why this is happening, but I trust that there is a higher wisdom guiding me. When you surrender, anxiety weakens because you no longer fight battles alone. You hand over what you cannot carry to the divine, and in return you find peace. Together, love and surrender form a powerful shield. Love opens your heart, while surrender lightens your spirit. Love keeps you connected to others, and surrender keeps you connected to God. Love allows you to heal wounds, and surrender allows you to accept life as it is, without breaking. Living this way does not mean life will be free of pain or trials. But it does mean that no matter what happens, you will not collapse. Because your foundation will not be built on fear or control, but on love and trust. So the fifth and final step to avoiding spiritual collapse is this. Choose love over fear and surrender over control. Love fuels your soul, and surrender anchors it. Together, they make your spirit unshakable, your light unstoppable, and your life a testimony of resilience. Living with love and surrender. The final step to avoiding spiritual collapse is learning to live with love and surrender. If the first 4 steps are the roots, the presence, and the protection of your spirit, then love and surrender are the blossoms of your awakening. They are what keep your soul alive, radiant, and unshakable, no matter what life brings. Let's begin with love. Love is the highest vibration, the strongest shield, and the purest source of energy. It is not just about romance. It is the force that heals, forgives, and transforms. When your heart is filled with love, fear cannot dominate you. Anger loses its grip, bitterness dissolves, and despair turns into hope. Love uplifts both you and the people around you. Living with love means choosing compassion even when it's difficult. It means showing kindness to strangers, forgiving those who hurt you, and treating yourself with gentleness instead of harsh judgment. Love is not weakness, it is strength. It takes courage to love in a world filled with negativity, but this courage is exactly what prevents spiritual collapse. Because when you radiate love, your soul becomes a light there. We've now uncovered 5 powerful steps to avoid spiritual collapse. Recognizing the signs, guarding your energy, returning to the present moment, strengthening your inner roots, and living with love and surrender. These are not just abstract ideas, they are practical tools to keep your soul alive, resilient, and unshakable in a world that constantly tries to drain you. Let's reflect on what we've learned. The first step was recognition. Spiritual collapse doesn't come suddenly. It shows itself in whispers, disconnection, emptiness, loss of joy. When you learn to notice these signs, you take the first step toward healing. Awareness is the doorway to transformation. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. The second step was guarding your energy. We discovered that your soul cannot thrive if you're constantly pouring into others while neglecting yourself. Boundaries are not selfish, they are sacred. Protecting your inner energy allows you to show up for the world with strength instead of exhaustion. Then came the third step, returning to the present moment. Collapse happens when you live too much in the past or too much in the future. But your power lies here now in this moment, by anchoring yourself in the present through breath, mindfulness, or prayer. You silence the chaos of the mind and reconnect with peace. The fourth step was strengthening your roots. Just like a tree cannot stand without deep roots, your spirit cannot stand without consistent practice. Gratitude, prayer, reflection, and service nourish your soul and give you strength to withstand storms. Roots grow underground, hidden from the world, just as your private practices build the unseen strength that carries you through. Finally, the fifth step was living with love and surrender. Love is the light that heals wounds, while surrender is the trust that lifts burdens. When you choose compassion over bitterness and trust over fear, your spirit becomes unbreakable. Love fuels your heart. Surrender anchors your soul. Together, they make collapse impossible. Now here's the truth. Avoiding spiritual collapse is not about living a perfect life. It's about living an awakened life. You will still face challenges, but you will not face them the same way. You will face them with awareness, with boundaries, with presence, with deep roots, and with a heart full of love and trust. And that makes all the difference. So I ask you today, which of these steps will you begin practicing right now? Will you start by noticing the signs within yourself? Will you protect your energy more fiercely? Will you return to the present moment when your mind drifts? Will you strengthen your roots with daily practices? Will you live with love and surrender? The choice is yours. Your spirit is precious. Guard it, nurture it, and let it shine. Spiritual collapse is not the end. It is simply a call to rise. And when you rise with awareness, strength, and love, you don't just survive. You inspire others to awaken too. So start today. Keep your spirit unshakable. The world needs your light.